Hello, today I thought I'll sort of touch on the subject of back problems. I get a lot of people that come to my classes, either Pilates or my other classes, just saying they've got backache, all that sort of thing, when they feel like they're too arched, the posture's not right, and they just feel that they need something to do to help with this. There's quite a few different things you can do. A lot of people just think it's your back that you need to look at, but you need to also address your stomach, which is one of the main issues, and also your legs. If your legs are tight, then it's going to travel up and make your lower back tight. The same thing if your neck and shoulders are tight, then again it can travel down and create problems with your lower back. A lot of it's just due to mainly posture, and if you're sat at a desk quite a lot, or if you're bending over, if you've got a baby, you're hunched over feeding or pushing. So just if you can, working on your posture will help alleviate the pain. Other times it could be a lot more undergoing. So this is just going to touch on basic exercises and stretches you can do at home, which may help, hopefully. It may not get rid of the pain completely, but it may improve it slightly. Other times it may improve it altogether. It will depend on basically you. So I won't know until I see you what your problems are, but hopefully these exercises will at least improve slightly, even if it just improves your stomach muscles. So a lot of them can be done with stretches. So your basic stretches you can do to help alleviate pain will be working on stretching out the whole of your leg. So you've got your quad stretch, so you're bringing that heel to the bum, sitting the hips forward and pushing your foot into the hand. So holding that probably about 10 seconds and then doing it on the other leg. So that will stretch the front of your leg. If you've got tightness in your back of your leg, which is causing your back, then obviously you can do your hamstring stretch. So you're leaning forward, pushing your bum back, digging in with that heel. You can do this stretch lying on the floor, lifting your leg up. A lot of time it's either due to very tight muscles in your glutes, overworking, which is not supporting your back, and obviously your stomach is not supporting. So I'll show you those when we get down onto the floor. Posture. So if you're quite arched with your back, if you can see that, then obviously that's going to put a lot of pressure on your lower back. So if you can, try and tilt your hips forward and kind of sit to your tailbone under instead of having it pointed out. So you sit it under, kind of flattening out the back, and you've got the stomach contracted in. So if you can do that as you're standing, when you're doing things, just to remind yourself to do that. That will just help alleviate any pain there, and also stops you from going into that arch. So you're just tilting your back slightly, pushing that bum under, or pushing your tailbone under. So you can do this. You can always do this against the door or wall, I don't know if you can see that, by just trying to flatten that back against it. That will just help alleviate that. The same thing with people who've got sciatica, that will just help alleviate that, especially if you've got your lying on the floor with your legs in the air. Really good exercise you can do would be your roll down. So if you feel you're quite tight or quite restricted with mobility, chin to your chest, you slowly roll yourself all the way down onto the floor. So you're just stretching down then to the level you can go, and then slowly roll yourself all the way up. You can do that as many times as you want. It's a really good way just to help make sure you're rounding out. You're kind of allowing each part of the spine to open up to get the blood into there, and then you're relaxing and stretching into that. Same thing again, you can always do this with yourself pushed against the wall. So you're slowly just trying to peel each part of that spine against as you come down. You can always go to a level. So if you find you've got one part of your back where you can't quite separate the muscles, you can't quite separate the muscles, just work to that level. So say your back is flat, but it just feels like it goes in one big action. Then just slowly work on that, and then work it back up. Okay, so lying down on the floor stuff you can do to help with the back then. So a really good stretch that I recommend people do, along with these other ones, is working into your bum. So this would be good stretching out your bum. So you bring the ankle onto the knee, you try and push the knee away from you, but push the ankle with the knee towards you. You just hold that stretch there, and then you change it to the other side. If you want to do it twice through, do it twice through. Another really good stretch for the back then would be take your knees to the floor, make sure they're really touching the floor, and then stretch the arms over. And you can do that on the other side. But really do make sure your knees stay together. I know some people will separate the knee so they can get the arms further out, but try and keep your knees together first, and then just try and stretch the arms over as much as you can with the knees together. Again, keep improving on that. It will help, I promise you with that. So some stomach exercises you can do. So we've done the standing up, trying to flatten your back. So again, if you can see this. So we'll kind of arch your back. This is where you don't want to be. And then with your flattening the back. So you can just arch and just flatten. That would just help with any mobility issue. So if you feel you're very tight in your back or you've got no mobility at all, do this exercise. And just remember that we're not doing this. We're not lifting your bum up to do the movement. We tilt the hips to arch your back. We flatten your back and tilt the hips slightly up with the bum still down. There's going to be a slight lift obviously, but it's not going to be completely lifted up. So you tilt and flatten. We do this in Pilates for us to find our neutral. So when you've done that a few times, you can then take it to your neutral, which is the middle ground, where you feel comfortable, where you feel the middle between your arch and your flattening. Everyone's going to be different, just due to how your back is anyway. If you want to slightly more flatten your back because you're very arched, that's fine. So that's your neutral. So we're going to go into some exercises to help strengthen your stomach, which will help support the back. Obviously you're going to take it easy to hard, so the easy option is just your basic toe tap. So for those that come to my Pilates, you would do this a lot. So we're just lifting the leg up and down, making sure that our back's still in our neutral and our stomach sitting. So we're just lifting and low on one leg. If this feels okay, you feel quite strong that you can keep your back in your neutral, then you do the exercise with your legs lifted into the tabletop, back still in your neutral, and you tap, you lift, you tap, you lift. So you're contracting your stomach in, but you're still able to breathe. So you can do this probably about 20 times, or you can time it. Try and do this daily, which will definitely help with the back. So this is a really good exercise for you to work. Good. And then come up slowly to sit in. So those are some basic things you can do. Again, if you know that your legs are quite weak, then you can do a few leg exercises which will help strengthen that up, which then will help support your back. If you know your stomach's quite weak, do a few more stomach exercises as well as supporting the back. If again you're finding your mobility is a problem with your lower back, mobility works. So really trying to allow movement into that area that feels tight. A good exercise if you've got lower back mobility is just going into your twist. So it's probably better to start this sitting down because then your hips don't go with the movement. So you're just twisting from side to side. You may find a lot of your problems will stem from posture or tightness. So you need to work on really working into those areas. So if it's posture, making sure you're standing tall, shoulders down, make sure that back's not overarching. You've got that stomach contracted in. If it's flexibility issues, then you know you need to stretch into the area. Keep stretching. So hopefully this will help you just to figure out what problem you may have. Maybe even seeing a sports massage, seeing a physio or chiro might help that. Just seeing how you get on. I hope that's helped. If you've got any questions or feedback, just comment below or just let me know by email or if you see me in person. But I do hope that's helped a bit more. Thanks guys, have a lovely day. See you soon.